All right, we are live. So welcome everybody. Hopefully you're seeing me, or actually you might not be because I think I selected. Okay, there we go. So welcome to the video. I'm Adam with Productivity Academy. If you somehow stumble across this and you don't know who I am. And today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Set up a short interview here to talk to somebody. It came across on YouTube, and somebody else was very interested in productivity. As well as apps. So this is Francesco D'Alessio. I think I got your last name right, didn't I?
You perfected it. Brilliant job.
So I'm not going to do a long introduction. I just want to say it's somebody that I've seen on YouTube. It's got some really cool videos, some great content. And Francesco, do you want to, if I feel bad kind of doing this, but I think you could give your own better introduction to just kind of give people a quick overview of what it is that you do.
Yeah, sure. So firstly, thanks for having me on, Adam. And
yeah.
I'm really enjoying the Productivity Academy videos. They're looking really good and covering some really good topics as well. I like the Focuster app that you focused on the other day. That was
a
cool good feature. Yeah, it's good. So like you, Adam, I love productivity applications. So my YouTube channel covers basically the ins and out of productivity applications, showing you the sort of beginner stuff, so things that anyone can come into, and also the more advanced level stuff, so trying to go a bit more granular with those applications, really to try and help you be more effective with that application rather than trying to make you productive necessarily, just trying to make sure that you're using it efficiently as possible. So yeah, I've been doing the channel for about 2 years now.
Cool.
And it originally started like sort of like as a side project, as like okay, these videos could be fun, showing people how to use Evernote or Todoist, and basically they just evolved quite fast. So I'm now just gone past 6,000 subscribers, and I'm putting out more regular content that covers everything from notebooks to tech products. So everything's quite exciting with the channel. And I've got a really lovely community that support and share the ways that using applications. So yeah, everything's really good with the channel.
Awesome. Well, I did have one question. Not one question. I have more than one question, but I have one that I was certainly curious about. And the first one's like, what's your go-to app for productivity? Like, if you had to choose one thing and get rid of the rest, like, what's the one?
That's a tough one. It would probably be a blend between, because a lot of the applications don't do everything, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But the one I think I'd stick with is probably like Todoist at the moment, only because it's got that commenting feature that allows you to take notes as well. I would have originally said Evernote, because it has those checklist functions and things like that. But because of the way that Todoist is quite open with what you can add to it, especially on the pro version, I mean, I think I'd go with that one. What about you?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I totally agree with you about it being, as I asked that, I was like, oh God, this is going to be tough, because it's so true that I think the better question is like, if you had to limit yourself to 2 or maybe 3 apps, like what's your ecosystem? But to be fair, I'll answer this too. And I would say probably the same, I think, Todoist. Although I'm switching over, and we were talking about this right before we started the video, I'm starting to use an app called Focuster which is kind of cool. And they're integrating a lot of the features that Todoist has, and then it also is more tightly integrated with your calendar, which is something Todoist hasn't done, or they do. You can do with the premium, and then there's a workaround with IFTTT for the non-premium. And to me, it's just not yet. I haven't made a hard choice yet. I still use both. So.
Yeah. A lot of the time, like, you have that, don't you? You have like you can't like fully commit to an app because it's either too early in its journey or it doesn't do everything that you want it to. So it's
tough too, because it's got to be really good to move somebody. Because once you establish yourself in an app, you know what I mean. Like, getting people away from Evernote would be incredibly difficult right now. So
yeah, it's like moving a social network. Like, you've made a base there, and that base is your data. So yeah, it's quite exciting.
All right, well then I guess the follow-up question is, like, do you think that that's your subscribers and the people you hear from, is that their favorite app, or what's the app that, I guess I'll kind of change it, what gets the most questions? Like, what app are people really wanting to know more about, or how to be like power users?
Sure. So the power users are really that follow on the channel are like Todoist, Asana, Trello, Evernote, Bear at the moment. I mean, Bear, like a lot of people email me about Bear. They say like they want to know more about how to use it. And because it's so early in its journey, it's tough to try and give it as much context as possible. But yeah, those 5 applications are really the big ones. And the good thing about productivity is, as you know, is it expands quite far out. So you can be talking about time tracking apps, or you could be talking about like project management apps. So there's quite an expanse. But yeah, those 5 ones come up most in the comments for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was just curious, and I've actually heard of Bear. I haven't had a chance to check it out. The other one was, I felt bad. Somebody asked me like, "Hey, can you do a review or check out GoodNotes?" And I was like, "No, I'm not a Mac user. I don't use Apple products. Sorry." So I was like, maybe I'll borrow someone's iPhone or something and check it out, because it sounds
That's
like a
it.
neat app. But it was kind of funny. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, no, can't do that. Like that'd be a $500 review I would have to do."
Yeah,
So
that would be a big review. Yeah. And I had a very similar problem. I had a Chromebook for about a year and a half, and then I moved to Mac. And the backlog of Mac applications that I had to review was ridiculous, because a
oh
lot
yeah,
of them are on there, right?
yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Well, if
so
you have a
mad.
GoodNotes review, or if you put one out, let me know so I can tell people about it and point them over there.
I will have to. I will have to.
That's awesome. Let's see. I had a list of notes just so everybody knows. This is kind of funny because I talk about traveling and like being productive and how to like do this on the road. And I am living that dream/nightmare right now. Like it is crazy. I had a laptop, and I'm house sitting for someone for like 2 weeks. So I had a laptop. I brought a monitor. The converter, the adapter didn't work, so I've got like cables everywhere. But it's been good to put it into play, because I tell everyone about this. Like especially when you're traveling, whether it's like business or pleasure, you've really got to be on top of it, and doing things like triage. Just like looking at your list and being really cutthroat about saying like, I'm going to get these 3 things done, but everything else either gets totally taken off or it gets put back until I'm back home or something. So
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
as far as well, I guess additional apps, I'm kind of interested because like Bear, I'd never heard of. Like, are there any other things that you're really kind of starting to cover, or you're seeing kind of coming up and being kind of neat things to keep an eye on?
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of focus at the moment on AI applications, and
Mm,
trying to like get a productivity application that responds to certain elements of your calendar, or certain elements of your communication around the calendar and around tasks. So what I mean by that is, there's these new applications. I think Google bought one a year ago, but they haven't really done much with it, and which I think they'll integrate it in Google Calendar. That basically takes into account all your calendar dates and information, and basically coordinates stuff around it. I mean, they do it okay at the moment with their feature called Goals, but basically this knowledge that they're taking into account stuff that you've already got in there. And then there's this task AI side of stuff. So AnyDo have released this AI focus feature, which essentially you can communicate with it as a bot. It asks you questions and you reply to it. And basically, once you reply this stuff in, it starts taking into account for like being able to complete the task. So
mm,
I think one of the demos ones was like, someone was trying to get it. They had buy Mother's Day flowers for Mother's Day, and it was able to help them order it like just through the message bot. So it's trying to build that bridge between tasks that can be completed easily through AI. I mean, Todoist are a good example. They've released this feature called Smart Schedule. So
that's right.
basically,
Yeah.
it's a great feature, right?
Hmm.
You have all your tasks in there, and then let's say like me and you in the evening were like, oh, we want to watch this Netflix program. I don't know what it is. And we select the 3 tasks we have. We press Smart Schedule, and it will pick out dates based on your data history, and it will organize all of them in that efficiency. Obviously, all of this stuff's growing, but I think that really is the future of productivity apps, is this AI and an awareness of your situation. But again, with a lot of this stuff, as you know, like it doesn't really know you yet.
No, yeah, definitely not. But yeah, that's a cool point. I totally agree with you. I think that as that gets more integrated and can be more predictive. It's definitely not there yet. Like most people would agree that, you know, most apps they kind of miss, but you know, it's moving in the right direction. So
Yeah, that's it. But then there are some good apps that are on the horizon. I think Scribble Post is one that is a popular one, and it's by an Australian startup. They're trying to basically it's very similar. So what they're bringing together is like a Trello, Asana, Todoist, email tool that essentially helps bring that all together. I mean, I've tried it. I played it around with it for a couple of months, and I've been in touch with the guys, and it's very impressive what they're doing. So some of these apps, and we'll see it in the future with like the likes of Asana, they're going to bring in features from other services. Like Asana brought in that boards feature that essentially allows you to make boards like you do on Trello. So all of these apps are going to try and steal features and bring them into your own service. So, you know, we might see in the future a Kanban system in Todoist or anything like that can help weave in the services. So, you know, it might be a case of actually sticking with one app, and we might be actually with one app forever. We really don't know, but
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There's so many. I mean, it's interesting just talking to you today. Like I found out about like 3 apps that I didn't even know existed. So, you know, there's certainly enough, and it's tough though. I think it's interesting too because I think people probably get burnt out a little bit. I mean, everybody does, where you check out these apps and there's so much to go, and it's like, but then you know, it has to be this much better in order to get you to move there. Otherwise, you know, it's not going to happen. It's like, well, if there's one feature, unless it's a critical feature to you, all like system over to that app. So
that's it. Yeah,
so
no, that's what I would say. Just to add on that point, as you were saying, like when people move over, I think sometimes people have to be there for long enough to be able to like justify the move, because it's almost like moving house, like slowly unpacking your stuff, and then as soon as you've unpacked your stuff, leaving and going to another house. It's very similar. Your data is like that. So making sure that because I see this a lot of people email and they say, look, I've been with this app for a month and this is, you know, that might not be long enough for you. So try doing it for between 1 to 3 months and actually understanding what the issues are, and then find a tool based on those issues.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense to me. No, I agree. That's funny that we could go down so many crazy tangents and roads on this, but
yeah, you definitely can.
Yeah, so like I'm try to wrap this up so we're not killing people here, but like what kind of circle all the way back around. So I asked you about one app. So like, what's your go-to? Like, what do you use?
So
in terms
at the moment,
like more than one. Yeah.
As my setup, I'd say. If that's what you mean. So for tasks, Todoist. For calendar, phone, I use something called Calendars 5 by Readall. On my Mac, I use Fantastical 2, because those two are sort of nice intertwine. And then for notes, I use Evernote and Bear, but not Bear fully. And I also, for project management, I just use well, it depends on what company I'm working with, but whatever company, I sort of go with their tool. I do recommend tools, obviously. But yeah, that's sort of my setup at the moment. It's not too messy, though. It sounds messy, but it's not too messy.
Well, no, I mean, it's a real world system, so nothing's, you know, perfect and cut and dry. So
yeah, definitely.
Oh, man. Awesome. Well, hey, I think we'll wrap it up. Is there anything else you'd like to share with people? Or also, I mean, if you want to, everybody watching, we're definitely in the description if you're watching this on YouTube or on either Facebook or the blog post. You'll be able to see his YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Got some great information. And for all you Mac users out there, apparently you can get some good Mac reviews too that you won't find with Productivity Academy. So, but Francesco, is there anything that people should know or before we wrap up?
Yeah, sure. I think everyone should leave a donation, and we'll buy Adam a Mac through the comments so that we can get him reviewing Mac. No, I'm joking. In the comments, if you maybe leave some of the applications that you're going to be, whether you use at the moment, me and Adam would love to hear, and we'd love to interact with you guys in comments and maybe see what your setups are like and share general tips and advice. But yeah, you can follow me on YouTube. I put out regular videos, so about 4 a week. So feel free to follow me. I'm really looking forward to, yeah. But yeah, of course.
Cool.
Thank you, Adam, for having me on.
Yeah, well, thanks for being on. Thanks everybody for checking it out. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, let us know about what apps you're using. We love hearing that, and any specific issues or setups. And then by all means, leave comments, let them know what you think. And we'll talk to you guys next time. I guarantee this probably won't be the last time that you see Francesco on this channel. So
hopefully.
all right, bye guys.
Thanks very much. Bye.